All men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
Life, liberty, and the
If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear.
Make America great again.
The Big Mig.
Well, good morning and welcome back to the Big Mig Show. Of course, I'm your host, Lance Miliaccio, with my ride or die co-host, George B. You know how we're doing it? The Valentine is in the house, grinding away because it's rise and grind and it's tip of the spear, as you always know on this show, 11 a.m. Monday through Friday, Eastern Standard. And look, it's simple enough. If you love the show, hit that thumbs up, comment, follow button. You can find us on Rumble, YouTube, and Locals. And of course, if you love the show, you can always do a paid subscription for $5 a month. Rumble Rant tips are always appreciated. But the big deal is to get the information out there. Take the short form and long form, share it far and wide. George B. Morning, bro.
Good morning, bro.
Monday morning.
Manic Monday, man. Manic Monday.
Back
What's
in
up?
the saddle.
I see Bulldog in the chat. What's up, Bulldog? Yep, another day in the saddle.
Yeah, and if you guys are new to the show, don't be shy. Get in the chat. Let us know you're new to the show. We'd love to give you a shout out. We're excited for all our new followers, subscribers, and listeners. You guys have been helping us grow very rapidly on Rumble, so it's great. And of course, don't forget to follow us on all platforms, including all major podcast platforms. Look, if you love the show and you like to sponsor it, you can hit us up at info@thebigmig.com. That's right, info@thebigmig.com. We've got a couple of sponsor slots that are available now. So let us know. And of course, gold and silver. We got a great story on gold later in the show. Looks like it might be a good time to keep thinking about accumulating gold and silver. And of course, we use Genesis Gold Group for our purchases. And of course, this is the 62.2 gram prepper bar, perforated and very easily broken down in your choice of 3 separate denominations. Of course, it fits a multitude of needs: asset protection from inflation, diversification, economic turmoil, or in the case of the prepper bar, the fact that you can break off a small piece to make a payment in 3 different denominations. Of course, it's a perfect and unique utility for barter and trade. It's a perfect gift for everybody out there. It doesn't matter who they are. They don't just have to be preppers or precious metal lovers. Grandkids, children, you name it. Great for holidays, birthdays, Christmas, Hanukkah. It doesn't matter. Whatever holiday you give gifts for, great gift to give because everybody loves gold and silver at these prices. And the Genesis Gold Group, you don't have to worry about any counterfeit gold because, of course, these are exclusively mined and minted in the great US of A. They're always selling out fast. They just got a big restock about a week ago. So as far as I know, I didn't talk to Jonathan over the weekend, but as far as I know, they've still got plenty in stock. All come with an assay report. So if you want to, of course, sell it down the road, you're not going to have any difficulty doing it because you'll have that assay report to validate that it's legit. And of course, they fit neatly in your wallet, gun safe, sock drawer, underwear drawer, safety deposit box. Doesn't matter. It's all good. Head over to genesisgoldgroup.com after the show. That's genesisgoldgroup.com. Or you can, of course, call them at 888-526-7154, 888-526-7154. Don't forget to tell them the Big Mig Show sent you. You get a special discount. And you can do IRA and 401k investments. They've got a way to do that. You can hold it yourself. You can put it in their storage. The key is these guys have access. And if you want to do large purchases, get a hold of Keith Height. If you're thinking about buying a big block of gold or silver, he'll walk you through it. They can give you special discounts on large purchases. Ask for Keith Height, great guy. And he's going to be on the show coming up probably in about a week. So we'll let you know when he's going to be on. He's going to be giving us an update on gold and silver, what the future looks like. And of course, we'll talk about other economic items that are impacting precious metals. All right. Well, no surprise. All I can do is shake my head as usual. You hope for the best, but expect the worst. John Thune, we talked about him on the show very much. Super Rhino. He talks the talk, but he doesn't walk the walk. We're calling this episode Betrayal in the Swamp. Why? Well, he sucks. He's a scumbag. I wish he'd resign. George, this is ugly. And what I think is really ugly about it, it's not just the session, right? It's not just going on vacation. It's the way that Thune did it. You want to share with the audience what's going on here?
Well, I mean, shouldn't have to because everybody knows he's a POS, piece of shit. I just, like you said, next after this election, if the Senate holds control, the GOP, I think they should dump his ass as a Senate leader and elect someone new, someone that's going to do the job. You know, he did a bunch of confirmations on Saturday morning. All right, they even got oh my God, Todd Blanche, Attorney General, confirmed. He's now official. So hopefully, let's see what he's going to do. You know, Carrie Lake has still not been confirmed. He left her out.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, and you got like wondering
How long
why.
has she been waiting for confirmation?
Since Trump probably took office, like around that time, maybe a few months after.
Wow.
I mean, it's ridiculous. How do you supposed, as a president, how are you supposed to get your agenda done if nothing gets confirmed? Like, people don't get confirmed. How are they supposed to get, you're supposed to get all your stuff getting done? It doesn't make no sense. But that's the way, rhinos work. That's the swamp. It runs real deep in D.C.
But he just pulled one of the most underhanded backstabbing maneuvers.
Yeah, now. Yeah, to add to it. This is just to add to fuel to the fire. It's crazy. I mean, I don't understand this. Instead of doing the work that we need, that the American people need or wanted, John Thune is sending the United States Senate home for a massive unearned 37-day vacation. You think that's okay? All right, that's bad, right? But no, it's going to get worse. It gets worse. He ain't just going on vacation. He's purposely scheduling 11 fake pro forma sessions during the break. So the Senate will gavel into its first pro forma session actually today at 10 a.m., an hour ago. I mean, why? Is he that mad because we challenged other senators and they lost their primaries? Because we want people that want to do the job, do the work? I mean, look, this is Monday, August 10th, Thursday the 13th, the 17th, the 20th, 24th, 27th, 31st, the 1st, the 4th, the 8th, the 10th. And that's confirmed schedule on the Senate floor. I mean, what's the purpose of this? You understand this at all? Is it purposely? I mean, what are pro forma sessions? What are they going to do? What are they accomplishing?
Well, I know what they're accomplishing, and maybe we should explain that to the audience. So first of all, a 37-day unearned vacation, in my opinion. 37-day vacation. These guys get more time off. What a freaking joke. And I'll tell you what they're doing. And by the way, this is the first time that a Republican Senate has done this to their own president. He's one of the only presidents who's ever dealt with his own Senate chamber doing this. So the plan with these pro forma sessions, they're basically a sham. So it's a fake session where one single swamp deep state scumbag senator walks into an empty chamber with nobody in there but himself, gavels in for 30 seconds and gavels out. No votes, no debates, no work, no nothing. And the reason they scheduled these is because there's a ruling that matters.
Constitutional.
So basically, these pro forma sessions have to be 10 days or less to make it appear as though, because in 2014, in a ruling called NLRB versus Noel, it was a Supreme Court case, Noel Canning. So it was NLRB versus Noel Canning. So held that these brief sessions count as genuine Senate sessions. So when the chamber retains the ability to conduct business, recesses lasting fewer than 10 days are generally too short to activate. And listen closely, the president's appointment authority. So Thune did this on purpose to prevent that clock from reaching the 10 days. It's basically a procedural barricade erected by Republican-controlled Senate against a Republican president. So the sole purpose of this, and listen closely to the audience, and this is why I tell you, that's why we go after both sides of the aisle on the show. Because they talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. And the fact that Thune did this intentionally so that President Trump can't exercise his constitutional power to make recess appointments. And listen closely, Trump is the only president in American history whose own party has repeatedly used this trick against him. So think about this. You heard all the boasting. Oh, we won the House. We won the Senate. It's going to be amazing. President Trump's in. We're going to get so much done. Listen to the behavior, closely to the behavior of these people. All that talk and all that bullshit they fed us, it's not true. John Thune is a total rhino because, again, these appointments could have occurred because Donald Trump could have used his constitutional power and said, okay, they're on recess. I'm going to go ahead and appoint these people. But nope. More cock blocking by John Thune. This guy is a total piece of shit. I recommend that you guys go out. Any Republican senator you engage with or you feel like saying something, get into their feet on X and tell them what a piece of shit they are for a 37-day vacation and for putting in these fake pro forma sessions, and that you think John Thune is a scumbag and anybody went along with him is a scumbag. I would call these people out. Again, I've said it before, cut off their services. Don't give them any service. If they're coming into your businesses, throw them the F out. Honestly, don't give them service at the restaurants, the bars, any of it. Toss their asses out. You know, it's one customer. It's not going to kill you. Throw them out. These people are awful. George, I mean, think about the strategy here.
I didn't know. I looked this up. This is a constitutional rule. The U.S. Constitution says neither the House nor the Senate can take a break for more than 3 days without permission from the other chamber.
Well, you know they do it for each other, right? Oh, yeah, go ahead. You guys can take a 37-day vacation. Go ahead, man.
I don't know.
37-day vacation. How many people in regular jobs get 30? And this isn't the only vacation. Don't act like this is the only one. These guys literally work damn near less than anybody else in the United States. These are some lazy mofos. And you wonder why we go after both sides of that.
Listen, I can understand some of them that want to go campaign, have to campaign if they're up for the re-election seat. I get that. Okay, go campaign and stuff. You need to be, you know, because they want to try to hold their seat.
Yeah, but they can assign their vote.
No, you can't. You have to be present to vote. You cannot assign
I thought you could assign your vote.
You can't do that in either houses.
I didn't know.
You have to be physically possible. Why do you think sometimes when somebody's away or somebody's family's sick and there's a big vote and they fly him in or her in just to make the vote and they fly right back out? Yeah, no. I mean, just the bullshit. I wonder who's going to be going in there every day hitting that gavel. He's another rhino for co-signing that shit. Maybe it's Mitch McConnell, Lance.
The whole thing.
To wheel his ass in, you won't even see him. Doesn't even know what's going on. But, I mean, waste our money, waste our time. I wonder how many days they get off a year, Senate.
I think it's whatever they give themselves.
I don't know. They can give themselves whatever they want. But, look, waste of time. Waste of time. And you know what? Even if they come back after 45 days and then all of a sudden pass the SAVE Act, it's too late for this year. It's over with. Not going to matter.
So listen to this. And U.S. senators do not have a set number of personal vacation days, but they are typically out of session and and away from Washington, D.C. for roughly 185 to 200 days each year.
Hold on a second, Lance. Yeah. Not true, George. They just had proxy votes on the Fauci contempt. That was a hearing. That's not when you're voting for new laws and stuff. Totally different ballgame.
Yeah, I looked it up. George is right, actually.
I know I'm right.
No, I'm just saying.
And Skunk. Who said that?
I put it on Google just to check it, and just if you guys want me to, let me scroll back here. I'll read it because I didn't know that. No, a United States senator cannot assign or delegate their vote to another member if they are absent from the Senate floor. According to U.S. Senate rules, proxy voting is strictly prohibited. For a full call floor vote, senators must be physically present in the chamber to cast their votes.
Yeah, if they're doing like a hearing and stuff there, that's different.
Yeah.
We're talking about laws, passing laws and stuff. Me waiting for my apology from Skunk 71.
Yeah. Well, anyway, look, John Thune, nothing that we didn't tell you all along, nothing that we didn't expect. It is what it is. This is the kind of behavior you got to get used to. It's typical of rhinos, and it's typical of, like I said, it's a sham. Don't buy into that R or D stuff, Democrat or Republican. It's all the same, man. You got to look at it for what it is. It's all part of the same sham. Same old song and dance.
Wonder if we'll get copyright for singing that. Anyways, but we just want the SAVE Act passed, right? We need that. That would have been a good win for the American public. And I say American public, even Democrats, because 83% of Democratic voters want voter ID. And it would have been perfect timing, but that's over and done with. Because if you look at what just came out, James O'Keefe Media just came out with this. It's an undercover video showing non-U.S. citizens from where other than Iran that are allowed to vote in Michigan primary without ID. I seen the video where James O'Keefe went up, said he was Marshall Mathers. And the lady recognized the name and asked him, and he says, no relation. Didn't have to show ID, but he's voting under Marshall Mathers. You know, Eminem, for you people that don't know. This is crazy. Not right there. Black and white proof. It's on video. You can't say, you can't deny this. Oh, there's no illegals ever voting in elections. Well, New Jersey, my freaking state, proved all them Democrats wrong. And we have this now in Michigan. This is just a small percentage of what he found. Imagine how much more there is. And why do you think they don't want to give over the voter rolls?
And this guy, let me get this right. This guy was a sex offender on the ICE worst of the worst list.
Yeah, but even in some states, though, even though you have a felony, as long as if you did your time and you're back on society, you can vote again. So,
but he's a non-citizen that got arrested previously.
Right, just for the fact he's a non-citizen. But here's a question: not a citizen, he's a sex offender. What the fuck is he doing in our country? Why is he deported?
That's what I'm saying. He got arrested. What did he come back in?
This is Michigan, bro. What are you talking about? He got arrested by ICE?
Yeah, that's what it says. He was arrested by ICE.
Where did he say that?
He voted in the last 3 elections and intends to vote on primary day. What do you mean he intends to vote? I mean,
hold on. Arrested by ICE when? During the Biden era?
I don't know.
If it was the Biden era, they're going to let him out.
I don't know.
They need that vote, bro. That vote is more important than having a sex offender running the streets. Let me play the clip. Ready?
Yeah.
Is it okay if I'm not a U.S. citizen? It's okay for me to vote?
All I know is you're registered to vote here.
As long as I'm registered, I can vote, right?
Yes.
Perfect.
OMG has discovered multiple non-citizens from Iran registered to vote for the 2026 Michigan primary elections. The local police told us that this is an abandoned building, September 8th. Hello. Do you guys know if this is an abandoned building?
Yeah.
When's the last time people lived here? You just drank here? Both of these non-citizens from Iran, a country we're at war with, are also on the Department of Homeland Security's worst of the worst list.
Last name, please.
Last name, Haritash. First name, Fazlullah.
Yep, this is the right place.
One of them is still incarcerated for felony child sex crimes. Yet another reason that it is illegal for him to vote.
I want to catch this guy. All this, I'm going to run off him.
You can see we got the cars over there with the rims were being looked at. These guys are staring at us.
Your name is Mr. Afshin Mashali, right?
That is correct.
Are you interested to vote?
Yeah, we're going a little bit later.
Despite being a non-citizen. And Michigan poll workers on August 4th were happily prepared to hand these non-citizens voting ballots.
So I have a felony. I'm a sex offender.
Doesn't matter.
As long as my name is there.
If your name is here, you can vote.
To confirm that Michelle is still registered to vote, our undercover journalist visited Michelle's polling location inside the McDonald Elementary School in Dearborn, Michigan to see if this non-citizen from Iran would actually be able to vote if we simply stated his name and we told them that we were a non-citizen.
I'm alaikum.
Hi, how are you, brother?
I'm good.
I came for the vote. Can you check if the name is if showing in the system?
Oh, you have your ID with you?
I didn't bring it.
Okay, that's
But can
fine.
you just check if the name you have it over there?
What's your last name?
Last name is Masheli, Masheli, and the name Afshin.
Yeah, you're in here.
It's in there,
Yeah.
so I can vote today.
Yeah.
I have no.
You need to fill the back of this.
Right. So the question is it okay if I'm not a U.S. citizen? It's okay for me to vote.
All I know is you're registered to vote here.
As long as I'm registered, I can vote, right?
Yes.
Perfect.
The election worker there openly tells our undercover journalist that the name Masheli is allowed to vote in the primary election, despite the fact Afshin is a non-citizen from Iran. But we wanted to take it a step further and say out loud that Afshin is not just a non-citizen from Iran, but also a convicted sex offender.
The other thing, I have a question. I have a felony. Can I talk to him, please? So I have a felony. I'm a sex offender.
Doesn't matter.
As long as my name is there,
If your name is here, you can vote. The rest of the information not important.
it's not important, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Being a felon, being a sex offender felon, does not automatically bar you from voting as long as you're released from prison. If you're incarcerated, you cannot vote. We find it bizarre that someone who could be ineligible to vote based on citizenship and be arrested by ICE and be on the worst of the worst list, but still have a voting ballot readily available to them at the polling station, even when you tell them all these things.
Here's the key thing.
Wow.
Here's the key thing. When he asked the election worker, and election worker said, "I don't know. As long as your name is on this list, you can vote." And that right there is why they do not want us to have the voter rolls and do not want to clean up voter rolls. That's a prime example. One of the biggest examples we can give you. Right there, black and white, and color, actually, in video. Dude says, I'm not a citizen. Doesn't matter. Your name's on the list. If your name's on the list, you can vote. How many other people's names are on this list that are non-citizens that can vote? I want to see, you know what, Lance? Let's see what Harmeet Dillon and DOJ does about this now.
I mean, you would think that ICE would be running to find this guy and the other guy that's on the list too. I mean, this is crazy stuff. I mean, not my expectation. I don't understand how a sex offender that's an illegal immigrant was arrested by ICE, and how he's free again. Somebody hasn't retracked him down. Well, all right. I don't know what to tell you. Iran, it says they're feeling the pain. The U.S. says they're feeling the pain, but it sounds like
I'm feeling the pain. We're feeling the pain here.
Well, a lot of the terms of there's been a lot of people talking about the terms that they're offering, how they want to be repaid for the damage and how they aren't even sure then that they're going to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. And I don't think the U.S. can meet any of these obligations in this negotiation. I'm not sure why they're continuing to negotiate. I mean, from what I'm seeing online, the deal that they've offered Donald Trump is a total piece of shit. It's not art of the deal. It's art of we want everything and we're not going to do jack shit. I've said it all along. I'll say it again. We're wasting our time. Hammer these guys into the ground like a nail. It's a waste of time. So CENTCOM just redirected 65 vessels, disabled 2, and boarded others to enforce compliance. So I guess the U.S. naval blockade is in effect. But George, my question is, what happened to hitting the infrastructure, the bridges, the power grid? What happened to all that? Why hasn't that happened? And I haven't heard anything about them striking the Bitcoin mining facilities.
Well, because they re-entered into new negotiations. I think Saudi Arabia and one other country asked that they not bomb, and Trump did it and trying to be diplomatic again. But it's just going back and forth. You hear one thing from our administration, then you hear another thing from Iran.
I mean, Iran is demanding the U.S. end the war, number one. They want to compensate them for all the damage, and they still won't even guarantee the strait stays open if a deal is reached. Meanwhile, allegedly, their economy is supposed to be collapsed and inflation is soaring, and I guess they're hanging people. Anybody that speaks out is getting hung. Is this really an administration? Is this really the kind of leadership you want to leave in Iran for the Iranian people, Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth, J.D. Vance? Is this what we want to do? We want to leave the Ayatollah and the IRGC and the Basij. We want to leave them so they can just hang their people. I don't get it. And I don't really give a shit what the rest of the Middle East has to say. I really don't. I don't think that should be the priority, worrying about whether or not our allies are worried what we're doing and they want us to take it easy on them. No, this is what I don't understand. You're going to step off the curb and get into a fight. You need to end it. You don't go into the fight just to throw a couple of shots. You go to win it. And JD Vance put it perfectly. We're in the middle of the game. I don't see that, JD. I don't understand what you guys are doing. You've got a non-negotiable agreement, a non-negotiable offer. They're offering crap, and you guys continue to stay at the table. Take out the power grid, take out the freaking Bitcoin mining, and watch how quickly everything crumbles. I don't get it. You want to play the clip?
They have the audacity to demand that we end the war and compensate them.
Yeah.
How do you even consider that, Iran asking us to end the war when you guys keep retracting on what you are the agreements and start firing missiles? A missile got fired at a Saudi tanker over the weekend.
It's to me, that's not even an option. Compensate them. Get the frig out of here. I swear to God, if he signs a deal that says they're going to end the war and he's going to compensate them,
you know what, Lance? I understand why they say compensate them. He's taking a shot. I get it. Because Obama gave him pallets of cash. He's trying again, but he's forgetting he's dealing with a real president, not some.
I hope you're right.
Bitch ass fucking
I hope you're
Muslim
right.
president.
I hope he doesn't pull a bitch ass move and pay them for whatever.
Never. He would never do it.
I hope not.
Never.
All right, let's play the clip.
Officials are now making new demands. Iran's Supreme National Security Council issued a fresh statement this weekend calling on the United States to permanently end the war in the region, not just with Iran, but also with its proxies, and to compensate Iran for damages before the strait would reopen. Iran's foreign minister says even if a deal is reached, it doesn't necessarily mean the strait will stay open.
The talks with Oman are about the temporary route. We are almost very close to the result. Determining the route by Iran and Oman does not necessarily mean the reopening the Strait of Hormuz. That is dependent on other factors. The violations of the Memorandum of Understanding by America should be compensated.
With details still being worked out, the U.S. naval blockade remains in effect. U.S. Central Command says as of August 9th, CENTCOM has redirected 55 commercial vessels, disabled 2 and boarded 2 to ensure compliance. And President Trump told Axios on Sunday, we are low-keying it. We are only semi-negotiating with them. The president went on to say, we are just watching Iran with its huge inflation and the fact they have no money. And the Wall Street Journal reports for weeks, President Trump has been laying the groundwork to declare victory in the Iran war should Tehran fully reopen the Strait of Hormuz, even floating the idea privately to senior aides that he's willing to walk away without a nuclear deal, U.S. officials said again to the Wall Street Journal. Now, Vice President J.D. Vance spoke with Fox News over the weekend, indicating that U.S. pressure on Iran will continue until an agreement is reached that is best for the United States.
I try to remind people that we're really in the middle of the game here. This thing is not over. It's obviously not at the beginning. We're in the middle of the game, and we're applying a whole host of tools, diplomatic, economic, military tools, to ensure that we get the best outcome for the American people. I feel quite confident we will get there, but we're still a bit in the middle of the game.
Today, a senior Israeli official told Fox News there is new evidence, credible evidence inside of Iran showing this mounting economic pressure and regime officials in Tehran having to choose where their money is distributed. Guys?
So I guess what the president believes that economic pressure would change the regime's mind. But Trey, how likely is that, knowing that they don't seem to care about their people? They're hanging about 2 a day just for standing up and speaking out, many of which are decorated athletes. What are the likelihood of economic pressure changing their behavior, judging by what we've seen?
It's a great question. Look, the U.S. naval blockade of Iranian ports is costing the regime hundreds of millions of dollars each day. That is a fact. But we have to look at the reality on the ground. And the Strait of Hormuz, this critical international waterway, is still effectively closed. The percentage of vessels actually passing through the waterway is around 10% of what it's supposed to be. And as the Iranians say they are looking to reach an agreement with Oman about who controls which side of the strait, they're still firing on vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. Over the weekend, on Saturday, an Emirati-flagged tanker was hit with an Iranian missile. and vessels are still having trouble getting around this area. They're trapped in the Persian Gulf. And so the question remains, if the Iranians reach this agreement with Oman, are they willing to keep this waterway open and clear? Because the threats against commercial shipping are so serious that insurance companies are now unwilling to actually cover many of the vessels that would normally pass through this area. And it is affecting the global energy trade. Now, the president has a variety of levers to pull, both militarily and economically. And again, this is really a broad game of chess. And the Iranians have lost many of their pieces. Much of their navy rests at the bottom of the sea. Their missile arsenal has been degraded, but they still have pieces on the board. And as the vice president said, the United States is in the middle of the game.
All right, Trey, thanks so much.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
All right, turning now to some more headlines. Tomorrow.
Chess, not checkers, they say. Okay.
Yeah. Sounds like bullshit to me. I personally don't believe that you can negotiate with Iran. They never have been able to, and you sure don't know which leadership's pulling the trigger. I think you got to go all in, pull yourself away from the negotiating table, tell your allies in the Middle East to shut the frig up and just do what you got to do. Enough's enough. You want to get the global energy trade back on, you take away the Strait of Hormuz from Iran, and you drive them into the ground like a nail. All right, when we come back, WNBA, NBA, I don't know. Maybe they're just going to, maybe they just need to join. Maybe they'll just bring them both those groups together because it looks like more and more trans retired NBA athletes. Yep. Going to see them very soon in the WNBA, it looks like. WNBA, what a mess. All right, stay tuned. We'll be right back with George Valentine, Lance Miliaccio. It's the Big Mig Show. While we're on the break, take the live link, share it far and wide. Tell everybody to come in and join the show. You know how we do it here. We're bringing you the truth bombs, nonstop. We'll be right back.
Don't go nowhere.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
In a world of uncertainty, be prepared with Silver Prepper Bars, your ultimate hedge against political instability and economic turmoil. Introducing the Silver Prepper Bar, crafted from 0.999 pure silver and proudly made in the USA. This tangible, divisible asset can come in handy even in the toughest of times. Portable, perforated, and easily tradable, the Silver Prepper Bar is your lifeline in times of crisis. When facing inflation, currency devaluation, and financial meltdown, Silver Prepper Bars provide peace of mind. Don't wait for disaster to strike. Secure your future today with the exclusive Silver Prepper Bar, the only silver bar on the market divisible into 3 different size pieces for maximum utility, all while fitting in your wallet. Don't leave your future to chance. Order your Silver Prepper Bars now at prepperbar.com. Silver Prepper Bars, ready for whatever tomorrow brings. Order now.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.
right, welcome back to the Big Mig Show. Here we host Lance Migliaccio, George Ballantine, Big Mig Mafia in the chat. Listen, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, please. You know, the like, the follow button. And if you can hit the subscribe for $5 a month, we truly appreciate it. We need subscribers. Every little bit helps. So most importantly, your support being here helps. If you're out there watching or listening, if you could join the chat, come join the chat. I'll give you a little shout out. What's up? 360 Addict 72. I haven't seen you in a while. Football is good. My man Fake Reality's in there. Ultra Mac Girl 45 had a great 3 days at work. It's going back in there today. It's a boring job, she says. Well, most of the time when you're a guard, it is kind of boring. Bring a book. That's all I can say. Buy Lance's book. Lance, where are your books at?
Right here, man.
Hold on. Let me put you. Go ahead.
Don't forget, available on Amazon, Blood in the Streets, and of course, AI Side Hustles 2026. If you want to learn about AI, I highly recommend these books. Check them out. Available now. Amazon.
Yes, sir. All right. We had some controversy over the weekend, but you had another former NBA first round pick. Royce White says he's declaring for the 2027 WNBA draft, claiming he now identifies as a transgender for the purpose of playing professional basketball. And let me tell you something. The dude even threw on a wig. Check it out. I think he looks pretty good. I think the hair suits him, especially with the beard. I don't know. You might maybe want to shave the beard there, Royce. Make it a little more feminine, I guess. I don't know. Whatever you want to say.
Like a bearded lady from the circus, man.
I know, right? But he came out with a video too. And it's just not looking good for the WNBA. Because now that you have what? Ernest Freedom that announced. Yeah. Now Royce White. You have the league is being. This is what's happening with WNBA. The league is actually being challenged on its left wing men can become women stance. So how can they exclude Ernest and Royce if he says he's a woman, right? They can't, right? But if they do, what does that tell you? That means they know what a woman is. They're actually having meetings right now trying to figure this out. I mean, Lance and I, we can go there and help them. I can give them definition of woman. I can even give them visuals. I'll just bring a model with me or somebody wants a model to show what a woman is versus a man.
Yeah. I'm sure we can walk them through it. How about the WNBA commissioner? She's in a panic and she sends a memo calling biological males in women's sports complex and nuanced. This is one seriously dumb bitch.
Let's play the video from Royce, Lance.
Complex and nuanced. You're going to get hammered. If males come into the WNBA, they're going to dominate. And God forbid that Angel Reese or anybody else tries to manhandle one of the WNBA guys coming in. You're going to get effed up, man. Angel Reese should probably get knocked the F out. Seriously. I dare you to pull one of those moves you've been pulling on Caitlin Clark. I dare you to pull that on Royce White. Watch how that goes for you. You'll get knocked out.
Listen, I'm whoever with the team that gets them, they'll be fucking golden. Let's play the video and we'll go out. There's a lot more shit going on in WNBA.
Oh, earlier this week I made the announcement. I'm transgender. I'm a woman. I identify as sometimes identifying as a woman for purposes of basketball, professional basketball. So I'll be declaring for the WNBA draft in 2027 as well. I mean, I think I'd be unstoppable, but I'm a team first guy. I'm a pass first kind of player. I do the little things. I led my team in all 5 major stat categories at Iowa State University. So I do a little bit of everything. I'll do whatever the coach needs me to do. I'll do whatever the girls need me to do. I think the WNBA could come out and make a definitive statement about guys with a pair of balls playing in the women's association. But hey, that'd be probably too much like right. So, and I don't want to be discriminated against. No, I want fair treatment. I'm a young black, hopefully United States senator. That would like a fair chance to participate as a sometimes identifying as a transgender woman athlete.
You know what, Lance? I would like to see Michael Jordan join this. We can call him Michelle Jordan. Who's the other player I said they used to play with him in Chicago? What's his name? Crazy dude.
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman. We'll call him Denise Rodman. I mean, we can even put Shaq in there. I don't know what name we're going to call him, but
Shaquina.
Shaquina O'Neal.
Shaquina O'Neal. Exactly.
I mean, can you imagine? Hell.
Yeah.
But
I think it makes a lot of sense. Let's get him in there.
WNBA.
I'd love to see them go up against a thug like Carrington. I'd like to see them try to put a move on the Worm or on Roy Oystreit or Enos Cantor. Go ahead and try to strike them across the face and see what happens to you. You won't get thrown out of the game. You're going to get jacked up. Well, you're going to get a beat down. I bet all that nonsense will stop. All those assaults. Watch what will happen. I mean, like, honestly, if I was Caitlin Clark's ownership on her team, I would absolutely I'd be ready to draft an enforcer. Somebody really nasty from ex-NBA. I'd put him in there, and every time somebody touched the players, I'd have him go up and just jack them.
Because
the first time it happened, after Angel Reese got knocked the F out right on the court, I bet they'd stop touching those girls. I bet all that assault stuff would stop.
Well, you had an assault this weekend on a game on our beloved Sophie Cunningham.
Yeah.
This door game center. I mean, this stupid ass player hacked her. It's crazy. Hacked her. And then, the ref had to go rewatch it again and call the flagrant 2 foul, injected her. But this is the player Carrington. And I mean, what a freaking hack. We're going to play this. I mean, this bitch should be thrown out of the league. And her hands are nowhere near the ball when she hacks her, too. Oh.
Here's Cunningham up ahead of the field, weighs it in, plus the foul, and then Cunningham gets into the face of Dejanay Carrington right away in the aftermath. And Cunningham has to be separated as both teams will head to their benches.
You'll see a Dejanay Carrington as Sophie Cunningham comes down, gets her right across the face, coming down trying to prevent the layup, but that is just a hard hit. That's definitely going to be upgraded, I think, to a flagrant 2, Ryan.
I think that is going to be a flagrant 2. There is wind up.
And just getting her out of the way.
Criteria for a flagrant foul.
I'll be stunned if this is not upgraded to a flagrant 2.
The defensive foul on Dejanay Carrington has been upgraded to a flagrant foul, penalty 2. Since there's wind-up, impact, and follow-through, high potential for injury, players in a vulnerable position. Since the basket was successful, Sophie Cunningham will receive 2 free throws to make 1.
There's wind-up, there's follow-through, there's potential for injury, the player's in a vulnerable position. And so Dejanay Carrington, who had been off to an incredible start, is now ejected from the game following that hard foul on Sophie Cunningham.
Now, this player gets ejected from the game. She's in the locker room and she tweets out white privilege to the Indiana Fever organization. White privilege. That's what she's saying, white privilege. Well, here's some white privilege for you, dumbass bitch. You're calling white privilege. Why are you trying to be white? Why are you wearing a fucking blonde wig, straight hair, trying to be white? Take that shit off. Matter of fact, Lance, I wish Sophie, one of these girls, would, when she does a stunt like that, grab that wig and pull that shit off right there in front of everybody. Girl be like, oh.
No doubt.
Want to call it white privilege. Am I getting
this right? Did the coach defend the Sky players for this behavior?
Yeah, and it's
this coach
horrible.
Needs one of the MAGA women needs to give this coach a power slap publicly. This is just, how do you defend that kind of athletic? I got to tell you, these women in the NBA, these coaches and this ownership and the heads of the WNBA, what a bunch of fucking idiots. Seriously, where did they find these women? How can a coach defend this kind of behavior? She saw what it was, clearly a foul and clearly an assault. I mean, honestly, I would tell Sophie to go ahead and file a police report that she was assaulted on the court. Go ahead and get some police charges because I don't think they could justify. I think they'd actually have to pursue charges.
You know, Sports Illustrated backed the player that said white privilege and got some slack and then retracted it, removed it.
Sports Illustrated, shame on you too. Let's clear this. I cannot believe this coach is defending this player.
Yep.
What a dumb bitch.
Yeah, instead of defending her own players. You know, Sophie Cunningham was bleeding from in the mouth and stuff.
One of the things about Nay is that she's going to play her butt off, man. She's going to compete. Nobody's going to go walking in for a layup. And so I don't oppose the hard foul. But I also don't think that she intentionally went for the net.
Look at both the players after she said that. Look at Caitlin Clark. I forget the other player's name. Both disgusted with their coach. But you know something? They should have spoke up right then and there. Coach or not, they should speak up for what they believe was right or wrong and put that coach on blast. I wouldn't even fucking play for that coach. They're disgusted. How do you not back your own players up? What kind of coach are you? Would you want to play for a coach like that? I wouldn't.
No way.
Where's the...
She's not loyal to her players. Why would you play for a coach like that? Why would you even allow a coach to talk like that?
Where's the owners of the Indiana Fever? What are you guys doing about it?
Embarrassing.
Gotta be kidding
All right.
me.
Well, listen, of course, Sophie Cunningham has launched a movement about men in women's sports. She's getting tremendous support across the nation. Now, Coco Gauff has come out against men playing in women's sports also. That's 2 more women backing up Sophie in 4 days. And women, I got to say, for professional female athletes, female competitors, Olympians, you guys should all be getting out here because this bullshit they're trying to shove down your throats, you should be going ballistic. This is awful. And what a horrible thing to do to the young girls that have aspirations of being professional athletes, have aspirations of competing on the world stage. And you're going to basically put men in play to really just ruin their aspirations, ruin their dreams, and potentially put them in a situation where they could get hurt. Let's listen to what Coco has to say.
Good for Coco, too, for standing up. At least, look, the tennis organization, they're testing the women now to make sure they're biological women. One-time test. There you go.
Hi, Coco. The WTA recently said it's going to give gender tests to the players on tour. What's your impression of that? What do you feel about it? And what did the WTA do to prepare you guys for what's to come on that?
Yeah. I mean, as far as, I guess with that, I mean, I know it's been something that's been talked about a while, but I've talked to a couple other players and a lot of them didn't find out until the press release. So I do think that's something that could have been more transparent amongst like players across the tour. As far as that, I mean, I understand the reasoning behind it. I do think that this kind of conversation has created a lot of animosity towards the trans community, which I'm not really a big fan of, but I also understand the need to, I guess, the biological difference and the need to protect that and preserve that. So I think it's a conversation that is very nuanced. And it creates causes, or I need to have a nuanced answer. So yes, I guess kind of agree with trying to protect the fairness in women's sports, but I also do not like the attack that it is creating people who don't really care but just want to use this as a reason to attack the trans community. So I'm not really a big fan of that either. So I don't really know how to answer really this question in a way that people aren't going to spin it. But as far as where I stand, I definitely support the trans community, but I also support the need of creating fairness in sport too.
And you know, she said it perfectly too, because you could support the trans. If someone's a trans, if that's what they want to be, that's fine. I'll support you too, but I'm not going to support you playing in women's sports if you're a man, saying you're a trans woman. That's where we draw the line. I'm not going to support these trans people putting this ideology on our kids in school. I'm not going to support that. That's where the disconnect is with all these people. And, you know, all these reporters are trying to goat these players who's saying they're all for this biological testing. They're trying to goad them into, you know, saying something that's, you know, so they can spin it out of context. But whatever. Screw them. Lance, I want to know, is this a boss move or is this a dumb move? because you have the Democratic Socialist governor candidate. She hires an OnlyFans model as deputy campaign manager. This is from the Wisconsin Democrat primary for governor. She's actually the primary, I think, is tomorrow. She's a former OnlyFans model. Is that a good move or a bad move?
You know, Hong is the same one that wants to cancel Thanksgiving and wants to cancel all the other holidays. I don't know if she's trying to do this as a redirection. I don't know.
I mean, do you look at the OnlyFans models like, all right, she knows how to work the internet and social media and stuff, and that could be a bonus in that sense?
Well, maybe she's a lesbian. Maybe Francesca Hong is a closet lesbian, and maybe she's got an affair going on with Renee, Faust, who I guess went by Renee Olstead when she was doing her OnlyFans stuff. She was also Penthouse Pet of the Month. And then she was honored as the 24 Pet of the Year in March of 25. She also founded the Coalition for American Sex Workers, which is in favor of decriminalizing prostitution. That fits with Hong's policies. Hong introduced a bill when she was a member of the state assembly to legalize adult prostitution, solicitation, and create a sex workers' bill of rights. So she approves of that. She's a good family value person. She loves holidays and she loves sex workers, So I don't know. This is one of those moves that you can only wait till the chips fall. But I personally don't think that having an OF fan, an OF person on your staff represents a strong American values. But they don't want American values. Let's face it. They want men and women's sports. They want to legalize and give sex workers a bill of rights. They want to, jam LGBTQ and transgender ideology down the throats of your children. They want to groom them. This is one of those things I can just shake my head at. I'm not sure. What do you think, George?
I don't. I'm trying to see what her actual role is. So, if she's behind the scenes and not being out there in the public and just like directing social media stuff, and as far as like a move in that sense, it could be beneficial because some of these models, and whether OnlyFans, TikTok, whatever, they're good at negotiating social media. But do you want to be associated with a person like that? No. So no. But those are Democratic socialists. They say one thing but do another. First she was against Thanksgiving, now she's for it. If Skunk 71, if I had to cook, I'm canceling Thanksgiving this year. Okay, Skunk 71.
All right. Well,
I guess you're not cooking. Hold on. I know something came out. I want to bring it up about Iran. Can I bring it up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Iran. There's a statement. I just saw this in the BRICS news. Iran rules out future negotiations with the Trump administration. Says it will wait until his term ends in 2029. Okie dokie. Will Iran still be existing by 2029?
I mean, me personally, that would be enough for me to tell my Middle East allies to shut the F up, and I would go all in. But, is Donald Trump going to do that? I think it's unlikely. I think he's already showed his hand. He's negotiating from weakness, in my opinion. That's my own personal opinion. Maybe it won't be popular, but like I said from the very beginning, this is no surprise to me. You can't negotiate with Iran.
By the way,
they're waiting for another big Obama payday.
Yeah, that's probably. So I forgot to mention this too about with Sophie Cunningham. The lieutenant governor of Indiana demands Fever coach Stephanie White be let go for defending Joni Carrington after she assaulted Sophie. So there you go, Lieutenant Governor speaking up.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about. There's a new gold rush going on, and I think it's important for you guys to know
I forgot about that one, Lance.
Big
Sorry.
moves around the country. So there's a gold rush sweeping the globe, and people are. I think countries are stockpiling gold. The World Gold Council survey just found a record 45% of central banks plan to add gold amid inflation and geopolitical uncertainty. With the war spread and trade tensions as they escalate, and of course, inflation is stubbornly high, governments around the world are quietly buying up more gold. So the New World Gold Council survey found that 89% of central banks expect global gold reserves to grow over the next year. 45% plan to add their own holdings. Central banks are in the institutions that manage a country's money. You guys know that. Look, so some experts are saying these central banks buying more gold is a sign that expect today's economic and geopolitical uncertainty to stick around. And I agree. This isn't going to clean up anytime soon. The question is, do we have any gold? Are we going to add to our own reserves? Of course, a lot of these central banks are looking at adding additional diversification as investing in U.S. currency and U.S. bonds becomes very questionable. Look, they're calling it an 84% cited its role as a long-term store of value and inflation hedge, while 83% said it helps diversify their reserves. So there is a global buying spree, which I have to believe is going to trickle down into higher gold prices. Of course, we've already told you about the incoming shortage of silver. Allegedly, the U.S. owns more gold than any other country, but I don't know if I'm believing that, George.
The U.S. owns more gold than any other country. We don't have the gold. Gold is not in Fort Knox. Where is it then? I just looking up the gold price. It's $4,400 today.
Mm-hmm.
Silver is at $64.89. So let's see what happens.
Pretty interesting, and of course, it doesn't necessarily mean that regular people are going to go out, run out and go. But if I were you and you're sitting on gold and you were thinking about maybe selling, I would give that a second thought.
You would think, I would have thought that gold and silver prices would have been a lot higher because crypto's just been in a standstill because they haven't passed the Clarity Act.
Yep. That's
so,
true.
I mean, there's not much going on with crypto,
No,
unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it is dead in the water at the moment, but with the Clarity Act not passing, the Senate on a 37-day holiday, and of course, them blocking Donald Trump from making appointments. I don't know. Is this the Congress you voted for? You tell me. Is this the House you voted for? Is this the Senate you voted for? It's not what I voted for, I can tell you that.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
During this recess, right? Whoever this one person from the Senate that goes in and does a gavel, I wonder if he calls a session and puts to vote one, let's say, to save that, because just majority wins, right?
Yeah.
And if he's the only one there and he votes yes, no one is there to oppose him, should pass, right?
Let me put it this way.
I'm just saying.
If somebody made the mistake of putting me in charge of those pro forma fake things, some shit would get passed. Clarity
If
Act
they
would
can.
be
I don't know if
done.
they can. That's a question.
The Supreme Court ruled that it's a real session. It's a real session. So if that person pulled a slick move and called a vote, you could pull it through. But are they going to? Probably not. It's some Rhino. It's some, John Thune Rhino loyalist that's going to be the person doing it, I bet.
For the whole 45 days?
I'll bet.
Whatever many days are off?
37 days. They're off for
37 days.
I agree with you. It'd be a slick move. Clarity Act passed. Save Act passed. Congratulations.
I would just do them all in one shot. Get over with.
You imagine Thune, he would just shit a pickle. He would just die if somebody pulled that move. Yeah, we should find out who's going to be in charge.
That would be a boss move right there.
We got to find out who's in charge of the pro forma, then we have everybody go.
We got to find out if they could do that, though.
Well, the Supreme Court says it's a legitimate session.
True.
So I don't think there's any question.
True, and if nobody shows up to vote, whoever's there votes, and it should pass.
All those in favor? All right. I guess it's passed.
We got to find out who's going to be there doing it. What senator?
Can you imagine if that person pulled that move? They would go down in history as one of the biggest.
And the Democrats would fucking lose their shit. Oh my god.
Oh my god, they'd lose their shit. Is right.
Somebody might tip the Democrats. Someone's got to be there. Someone's got to be there now. George and Lance just fucked it up.
What if they just pulled the session and just bam, no warning, Save Act passed.
Well, that's why they would have someone have to be there all the time.
Yeah, it's a good idea, George.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Well, listen, if you love the show, it's simple enough. Thumbs up, comment, share. If you want to do the $5 subscription or leave us a Rumble Rant tip on the way out of the door, $5, $10, $20, any bucks. It's always good. And of course, follow us on social media, G Ballantine, The Big Mig Show, and Lance Miliaccio on X. Everywhere else, it's George Ballantine, Lance Miliaccio on The Big Mig Show. You can find us on Truth Social, Gab, Getter, you name it, we're there. Pickaxe. Find us, give us a follow, share our content, help us grow our accounts, because, of course, without you, it'd just be George and I talking to each other. And also, don't forget to subscribe to us on all major podcast platforms and YouTube and locals. Just go over there, give us a follow, share our content, give us a hand. We can appreciate the help. All right, George, last words, my brother.
Y'all have a blessed day. We'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
In a world of uncertainty, be prepared with Silver Prepper Bars, your ultimate hedge against political instability and economic turmoil. Introducing the Silver Prepper Bar, crafted from 0.999 pure silver and proudly made in the USA. This tangible, divisible asset can come in handy even in the toughest of times. Portable, perforated, and easily tradable, the Silver Prepper Bar is your lifeline in times of crisis. When facing inflation, currency devaluation, and financial meltdown, Silver Prepper Bars provide peace of mind. Don't wait for disaster to strike. Secure your future today with the exclusive Silver Prepper Bar, the only silver bar on the market divisible into 3 different size pieces for maximum utility, all while fitting in your wallet. Don't leave your future to chance. Order your Silver Prepper Bars now at prepperbar.com. Silver Prepper Bars, ready for whatever tomorrow brings. Order now.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these K9 units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.